Okay, hi everybody, welcome back, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to Joy Wellness because I'm about to go get, did it say no loitering? Yes, excellent, that's exactly where I'm standing. Because I'm going to go get my third ketamine infusion. I'm so nervous I can't even talk. Okay, the research states that if you get 6 ketamine infusions, it could potentially be curative of major depressive disorder, and it can actually help to take away suicidal ideations. Now, I have ADHD, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, complex PTSD, and it all goes under this umbrella of complex childhood trauma with mood symptoms. And I noticed that it was really effective the last 2 times I've got it, so I want to see it through. I'm going to be doing 7 treatments. I'm doing one today, it's Friday, and Saturday. I'm doing one again on Monday. Every time I get so nervous to do them though. I had really bad experiences with psychedelics in university. They were not monitored though by a doctor like this is. I'm doing it through an IV drip, so I have complete control over how much I get. The doctor will ask me like every few minutes, do I want more, do I want less, do I want to stop it? I'm gonna share the whole process with you. Sorry, it's just, it's like doing really intense like trauma therapy in an hour. It's like 20 years of therapy in an hour, and I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of, you're not nervous, you're excited. You're not nervous, you are excited because of the path of recovery. And I'm going through a really bad breakup, and I'm hoping this is gonna help me let go of some of that trauma. But I'm outside because I came here so early. So that's what's happened right now. But afterwards, I'm also gonna be getting the kaylaloganblog, which is the SGB, and what they do is it is a nerve blocker that they're gonna put into my parasympathetic nervous system, and what it really does is it resets the nervous system. It brings you down to a level. Okay, I cannot even think to actually talk about this right now, so we're gonna go get started in there, and then we'll go over all of this later on. Okay, bye. The room I will be doing the treatment in. And this is what it looks like over here. I always ask, like, what does it feel like to be on ketamine? So I think it's different for every single person. Like, it's a very individual experience. For me, like, I can only tell you the experience that I had at Joy Wellness, and I go to a specific doctor, Dr. Mulcahy, and I really love how she does it, because she starts with like an opening meditation that really like puts you in a place of calm and comfort. And I put on crystal sound healing bowls as well in my AirPods, and she primes you so that way you feel like you're floating, and you slowly feel like you're being taken into like this dark abyss of the universe. Like, you no longer exist on Earth in the best possible way, like not in a frightening way, because she's just reassured you that your higher power and your higher self is going to guide you, and everything you're meant to heal and work through will come up, and that you have the skills and capability and tools to be able to work through that on this journey. So like a lot of the anxiety, you know, is taken away in that regard. Now, I literally, when I'm like in ketamine, I can't feel my body. So like, I literally cannot physically feel that I am in this body occupying space. I feel like I am deep inside of my subconscious. I feel like I'm like a speck in the universe, just like floating around. And I know that sounds like hippy dippy trippy, but that's literally how it goes. And it's just like, it will be flashes of situations and life events that are happening, and I kind of guide it. So I set like an intention, and today I wanted to heal and work on my abandonment wound and work towards having trust and worthiness. So that was the intention, and that was what I kept reminding myself of throughout the therapy session. That's what I call this, because it's like doing 20 years of trauma therapy. And what came up for me was like trauma with my dad, and like a lot of my abandonment wounds like start from him. So it's like I physically started saying in my head like Dominic, 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 like that's my dad's name. And then all of a sudden that triggered thinking about my mom. And then I was like, oh my God, of course she is the way she is. She was a victim of his abuse. And then you start to have like these realizations. This is my personal experience. And I was like, of course he treated her this way. That was so abusive. Like, she's not at fault for that. She's never healed from that. She's never got therapy for that. That has nothing to do with me. You know, how my father treated her and me. This is an example of his behavior. So it's like being able to step outside of myself and my emotional mind, to step into my rational mind, to really reflect and dive deep into my subconscious to work on these topics. And from there, that could come into like me thinking about my current breakup and like where the love is, or about like my queerness. Finally done with the ketamine, you start to feel your body slowly, like you can start to feel like air on your hand, like the coldness of the room on your hand, or you can feel your hand move, and you can feel your limbs again, and you can move your limbs again, and you can feel your body coming back to life. And those are the things that when you're in ketamine, you feel like so deep in it that like I don't think I could move a hand or talk. Like, that's just not my experience of it. And then it took me like, I think 20 minutes to come out of it too. So like, this isn't my state when I came out of it. Like, at first it's a hand movement. I'm like, oh, I have a hand. Okay, wow, there's a hand there. And then it's like, oh, I have a foot's moving. And then I think I can open an eye. No, I'm not ready to open an eye yet. So it's just like really taking your time to come back into your body. It's really hard to describe it. It's really hard. And I honestly don't recommend it unless it's doctor supervised. Okay, so I just finished the ketamine treatment, and I ended up, when I woke up, like I was really like shaky, so I have an IV in right now. And now my shakes are gone. But like every experience is super different, and today's was really hard to come off of. It was like really deep childhood trauma that I was working through, about like my father being abusive towards my mother and how she didn't deserve it, and having like gratitude for my mother, and like of course she would have trauma. Of course she would have trauma from that, and like she never abandoned me. She always showed up for me. She always comes through. She always does. She always shows up regardless of the trauma that she's placed on me. She has her own trauma that is distinct from mine. It's just recognizing that, and recognizing that my father, I put on a pedestal for so long. He's a bad person. He's a bad person. He abandoned us. He abandoned my mother. He cheated on her. He abandoned me. He left us. And that has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with us. And that has everything to do with him. Those were his choices. He chose to do that for his own reasons, for his own trauma that came from his family, for his insecurities, from his life. It never had anything to do with me at all. It wasn't my fault. I deserve love and respect, and I'm worthy of safety and security, and I'm the only one who's going to bring that. Through my whole childhood, I'm the only one who showed up for me. Through my adulthood. In the end, it's only going to be me too. I think for so long I was seeking that in partnerships. They're just never going to give me that, because it's so unrealistic to think that a partner can give you that. And I think about it, we're in this huge universe, and we think that we're so important and we're not. We're literally specks of dust. We're specks of dust in this crazy large universe. And I'm having all these panic attacks and mental health issues, and it's like, really not that big of a deal. Like, I'm safe, I am secure, there was nothing wrong, I am safety. And another thing I realized that, like, I have always been my own home. Like, I'm not meant to stay in one place. Like, I am a world traveler, I'm an explorer. That is what motivates me, that is how I thrive in my life. That is what excites me. I'm nomadic, and that's okay. So my safety has to come from me. My safety is me. I have to trust in myself. I like picture of me as this, like, I don't know, black blob as a child and me as an adult now. At like almost like a Sunset Cliffs in San Diego. And I was like, as the adult version, like, I got you. We've got each other. And I was holding her and I was saying that, like, it's just you and me. It's always been you and me. And it's always gonna be us. There's this huge world to see, and we're gonna see it all. And then I was like thinking about like what it means to like have money and be successful and have children, and like the importance that our society places on it. And all of those are just social constructs that just don't truly mean anything. Like, we're the ones that place so much value on them. Like, what do they truly matter? Like, who decided that money has inherent value? What does it matter if you're rich or poor? Like, who defined what success is? Like, why can't success be joy and happiness? Why can't success be looking at a sunset? Why does success need to look like a mansion with a Mercedes? Like, I just don't subscribe to that definition. And I don't think the number in your bank account equals success anymore. Like, I just don't. And I don't think having kids defines me. I don't think I need to do it in order to be fulfilled in this life. And like, honestly, I think like I would be a great mom. I know I'd be a great mom. Like, I have such a childlike curiosity and spirit. But I also know it's okay if I'm not a mom. Like, my whole life doesn't depend on being wealthy and successful or being a mom. And another thing is, like, I am gay. I'm gay, and I've known my whole life. We used to go to Mastermind in Toronto every Saturday at the toy store. And I've known since I was a little girl that I was gay. And why does it matter? Like, love is love. Queer love is so beautiful. What does it matter in this universe who loves each other? Like, who defined what love is and what is normal and what is wrong? Who defined that? Who did? Why does it matter that I love a woman when I'm a woman? If it's beautiful and pure, that's all that matters. If it's kind and compassionate and empathetic, why does it matter that I love women? And I was so scared to come out to my grandmother. I've been like really debating if I wanted to or not. But like, that's my story. That's my story, and how she reacts, it's not my concern. I'm proud of my story, and I've always believed that you should love people for who they are. You should love people for who they are. It doesn't matter who people love. It doesn't matter if you're fat. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man, if you're he or they or in between.
None of that matters. None of it. It's just if you're kind, if you're loving and caring. And I started to think about queer love, queer people having children. And I thought about how great they are at being parents because they know what it's like to not be accepted. They know what it's like to truly want their children to be happy and fulfilled and to have joy, no matter what, even if that doesn't fit into society's definition. And isn't that what we should all want? Isn't that the goals in life? Isn't that the point of being a parent? Not to fit into the boxes that you've created, but to allow your children to blossom and become their own independent selves who are happy and have meaning in their own lives and to help guide them and support them.